Okay, I was asked to share my thoughts on Father's Day and father figures in my life, which was kind of ironic to me because I grew up without a father, and I'm now a single mom myself, raising 3 young boys, which is not a position I ever thought I would be in, but I'm doing my best. To be honest, the biggest father figure in my life was my mother. And I didn't realize until I got older how much she really sacrificed and did for us. It was just her and I against the world, and every value and my moral compass and everything that I learned about God growing up all came from her. And I draw strength from her now, so thank you, Mom. I have the 3 boys now that I'm trying to instill the same values in, and I'm lucky enough to raise them in Morgan Township, which is a great community with many father figures around us, both in the school, in the neighborhood, and now at Open Door Fellowship. So we are very grateful for many of you dads, because you've really stepped up in my boys' lives. I was asked to share from a recent post I had put online about a talk I'd had with the boys on Father's Day weekend. We were driving in the car, and I had been thinking about 2 things specifically that I wanted to go over with them. So I'm just going to read from that right now. I just prefaced it with the fact that even though I wasn't a father, there were still lessons I had learned from dads around me when I was growing up that I wanted to share. So I had written, last weekend, in anticipation of Father's Day approaching, I told the boys that I had been thinking about 2 things I wanted them to learn and remember. I told them that even though I had grown up without a father in our community had taught something to his son, who had then passed it on to me, as we were such good friends. As we were growing up and learning how to navigate through the challenges of adolescence and the trials of very early adulthood, his father used to tell him, "Be brave." Now, in our early teens, we chuckled at this. We thought it was so overdramatic. What could we possibly have to be brave about? We weren't soldiers. We weren't living in a dangerous area. We weren't coming face to face with any fears. I can remember many times saying, "Be brave," to each other in a very joking way. However, as we grew older, the true meaning of this began to sink in. I explained to the boys that being brave didn't have to mean confronting physical danger head on. It could be simple, quiet gestures. Things that someone knows is right, even if it is not popular. I said there were chances every day to be brave. Then I asked them if they could give me any examples. Brian said that he thought standing up for a kid with a disability could be a brave choice, and William said that he could help his friends at school if they were having trouble with something. I told them they were both very good answers. The second thing I wanted them to learn was something I had heard not too terribly long ago on a talk radio show. The host had asked listeners to call in with the most important lessons their fathers had taught them. One man told of a time he was playing Little League and his team was getting beaten terribly by their opponent. No matter how hard they tried, they just couldn't seem to catch up. He went over to his father and said he didn't want to play anymore. It wasn't fair and it wasn't fun. Without missing a beat, his father looked at him and said, "Go back in that dugout, sit down, and learn how to lose." I explained that this too did not just apply to sports. You will lose in life many times. You will not get your way. It will not be fair. It will not be fun. But you don't quit and you don't go home. You learn how to lose and you keep going. And you get better, stronger, and maybe even braver. So I should also add that it was Marty Good that instilled the Be Brave lesson into Matthew and I growing up. That's all I got.